Very good morning to all of you, and warm welcome to the second edition of this conclave. I have had the privilege to be part of the first one. Thank you, the entire team of ilouge Media. Thank you, Mr. Fahim, for having me again here this time. It's one of the kind of a rare occasion where we get to meet a lot of PSU leaders under one roof. So it's very special. So I didn't want to miss this time too. So thank you for putting this together, the entire team of ilouge Media. It becomes extremely critical today, with the onset of the startup and the entrepreneurial revolution that we are going through in India. We've just had two Mahakumbhs. I'm sure the first Mahakumbh, most of you would have been aware, that happened in Prayagraj. But the second Mahakumbh, how many are you aware that it happened in Bharat Mandapam? Right? So it was a phenomenal show of Indian startup ecosystem with almost 5,000 plus startups showcasing, with almost 2.5 lakh visitors, and every single stakeholder in the startup ecosystem being represented. So it is very important to understand and that the next wave of growth and the vibrancy in the country is definitely going to be powered by the Indian startup ecosystem. Not just in India, but globally also we are ready to take on those roles and challenges. Given that in the context of PSUs, I think it's extremely critical for all the leaders in this room to understand the power of co-creation, collaboration, and building, a very strong bridge between the power of PSUs and the vibrancy and the energy of startups to kind of build a very strong collaborative model. So at MeitY Startup Hub, MeitY stands for Ministry of Electronics and IT. MeitY Startup Hub, we are one of the largest hubs of startups in the country. All of you may have heard of Startup India. They are the custodians of the entire startup ecosystem in the country. And at MeitY Startup Hub, we are the custodians of electronics, tech, and deep tech startups in the country. So almost about 75,000 startups in this space is kind of powered by or supported by the MeitY ecosystem. So given that we have, last time when I spoke, I was very new to this role, just had taken up this role. In my past life, I was the Chief Innovation Officer of Telangana, the T-Hub, which is one of the largest ecosystem in the world. This time I have three things to share, what I really have kind of pivoted in the last 5-6 months in my role. So at MeitY Startup Hub, we are pivoting towards three key pillars. The first one is going to be deep tech and deep tech ecosystem. So anything that has a tech component and a deep tech component, which pretty much most of the things in the going forward is going to be, we are going to be really the custodians of that ecosystem and startups. The second aspect that we are pivoting towards is actually broad-basing this innovation and the entrepreneurial ecosystem beyond metros. So the Tier 2, Tier 3 cities is our focus, right? Because what happens in a Warangal or a Hubli or a Jaipur, every youth in every Tier 2, Tier 3 cities should get the same level of support and access for their innovation, for their ideas, and for their startup entrepreneurial journey. So that's the second pillar that we are pivoting towards. And the third pillar that we are pivoting towards is actually what we call inclusive tech. Right? It has three subcomponents. Inclusive tech has the first and foremost, which is women in deep tech. I think women in India have done us proud in the IT and ITES sector, right? I think today more than 50% of the ITES workforce is women. But in the tech and deep tech sector, we have some catching up to do. So at MeitY, we are focusing, ensuring that we have the women in deep tech also, kind of very, very as our focus area. The second sub-point about the inclusive tech is what I call assistive tech. Because if you look at the way Indian population is moving, we have the demographic dividend. We are a young nation as compared to other countries in the world. But it's also a matter of time, in another 8 to 10 years, we'll have a significant chunk of our population above the age of 60. So assistive tech becomes a very, very important part, right? It's very important. It's not just about, assistive tech is not just about tech for specially able people, but if you're using Siri, Alexa, all of these are assistive techs. So something which is very, very critical for all of us to look forward. And the third sub-point in the inclusive tech pillar is what we call the vernacular tech. India is a nation of diverse languages, and in MeitY we have a phenomenal concept called Bhashini. If you have not heard about Bhashini, please check out. Bhashini is a language platform which can translate your website, your content in a very, very effective way using the AI technology, and with very, very minimal cost, or sometimes absolutely of no cost. So vernacular tech is a very important area, and we want to really ensure that at least the tier 2, tier 3 cities, young students and young innovators can learn their first level of tech in their own language. So given these are the three pillars, it becomes very, very important for us to collaborate with the PSUs and with the stakeholders like you to ensure that our pillars are in kind of aligned with your goals, and we kind of collaborate together and participate in this journey together. Ever since I started this whole journey in the startup ecosystem about 10 years back, there is 2 or 3 key learnings that I have kept in mind, and I have kind of kept as my guiding pillar. First, for the startups, customer is the best investor, right? So I always keep telling them, don't run after investors 100 times, but run after your customers 100 times, right? Because customer is your best investor. And I see a room full of customers for my startups. Okay, so the PSUs here could be the biggest customer for my. The second is there are only 2 large customer groups for startups. One is, of course, government across the world. Unless and until you are a D2C startup, government becomes your largest customer, and corporates become your customers, right? And of course, PSU is a subset of government, which is unique to India. So we want to really understand the PSU, ecosystem as well, and try to see how we can support the entire PSU ecosystem. So, given that these two, government is doing their bit, and I'm sure Mr. Abhijit is going to talk about a lot. But PSUs and corporates also need to really push towards supporting the corporates. So in the Mahakumbh, I kind of coined a new CSR, which is instead of corporate social responsibility, I called it corporate startup responsibility. Then I thought of today, when I looked at PSU, I think powering startup upwards should be your motto, right? That's your PSU, powering startup upwards, right? So it's essentially, you could be the real power and energy and the support system behind my startups, and I seek your I seek your support in ensuring that our startups get opportunity to collaborate, co-create, and be your vendor partner, be in the supplier ecosystem, and be your support system in the coming days. So essentially, we are looking for collaboration for our startup ecosystem. Anything that you have, we are open to engage. We are willing to share our startup database and ensure your problem statements are resolved. And we are very, very keen to work together as MeitY Startup Hub. And the last but not the least, we have multiple schemes going on. I'm not going to share, there are multiple schemes going on, but currently we have some very interesting aspect. There's a paid pilot project that we are looking to support our startups with. So I urge my PSU partners in this room today, if you have a problem statement, if you have an opportunity for that can be solved by startups, please feel free to share it with us. We will take care of that problem statement, refine it, get startups to work on it, get you a proof of concept, and ensure that we have a solution that is there for you. And MeitY will take care of most of its cost, and we can really partner together for solution. And all I want is to assure if you like the solution, please onboard that startup as your partner, as your vendor, and take them forward, because that would go a long way in supporting the startup ecosystem. So these are my requests, as well as what we want to do, what we are doing at MeitY, and we look forward for a very positive and a very, very fruitful collaboration for my startups from the PSU side. And I know a lot of PSUs have multiple problem statements that could be the two advantages in working with a startup. You can get the solution at a fraction of a cost, of which what would be doing either internally or through a consultant. And the second is you can get it at a fraction of a time, because it will, the agility and the responsiveness and the ability to deal with new technology. These are the benefits that the startups bring to the table, and they can change and add that zeal to the PSU and add that vibrancy to the organization, which has thrived on structure, growth, and ensuring that a blend of these two worlds will make your PSU a far more competitive organization in the marketplace than anybody else. Yeah, thank you once again for having me.